Okay, welcome back everyone. So, what was the threat in the data communication? Half messages received, or there is a network failure, unauthorized access, data hacking. And what were the controls? The controls were firewalls, data encryption, network monitoring, regular audit, and ID password controls. Now let's see what are the critical procedures. Okay, what these critical procedures are. Even before all these controls, we will use these critical procedures to see whether the data integrity controls they are effective or not. So let's see what are these critical procedures. Whether antivirus software is installed and updated or not. So this is the point I was saying, that in all the cases, in all the controls, you have to make sure that antivirus software is installed and updated. Then the system must be able to provide assurance that information is unaltered. Not just the system, even the controls are supposed to give assurance that information is unaltered. Then CAV is maintained. Now what is CAV? Completeness, accuracy, and validity of data is maintained. Completeness, accuracy, validity of data is maintained. After that, if there is an erroneous input, it is detected and corrected automatically. So the second and fourth point we can understand, or we can remember it easily. Antivirus software, I said that it is a common point for all the controls. And CAV maintained. What is CAV maintained? It is completeness, accuracy, and validity of data should be maintained. Now let's continue. So these were the critical procedures. In all the cases, for all the controls, these are the common points. Okay, correctness, accuracy, validity must be maintained. Antivirus should be there. Whatever controls you are using, erroneous output must be detected, corrected, and the information must be unaltered. This is basically the chart I have prepared. Why we are using data integrity controls? To prevent and detect and correct errors during transmission, processing, and storage. What are the source data controls? Input form, pre-numbered, sequencing, periodic audit, authorization. Now, if you look at this chart, you will not be able to remember anything. But if I individually ask you what is source data control, you will be able to tell it correctly. What you have to do is first learn everything individually and then refer to this chart, but don't refer to the entire chart at one point. Hide the remaining part of the chart and then answer accordingly. Okay, so we are not going to do this now. We will do it later, but we will use this chart for revision later. But first, try to memorize everything individually, not directly the chart. Now let's see a simple question. What is classification of data? First classification is top secret data. Now the level of security for this top secret data is highest. What does it contain? It contains highly sensitive internal information. What kind of information? Information related to acquisitions and merger. See, you can understand from acquisitions and merger that it is a strategic information. If the competitors come to know any data about acquisitions and merger, it can result into big losses, or a strategic direction may be altered of the company. So that is why we are providing it with the highest level of security. Then we have highly confidential information. Here the security level is very high, but not at the level of top secret information. What kind of information we will store here is ongoing operation information. For example, patient record. If the public comes to know about the patient record, and there is an ongoing operation, there is a possibility that the public might try to disrupt that operation because they might not understand the crux of the situation, and they may feel that it is a wrong procedure which is being used by the organization. So that is why we are maintaining this confidentiality for the ongoing operations of the company, the ongoing experiments. If a pharmaceutical company, they are testing their products on monkeys or animals or human beings, it may look like something wrong is happening, but actually what they are doing is they are doing experiments. That is why we are maintaining that data as highly confidential. The level of security is very high, but as it is not a strategic information, we are not giving it the highest level of security. But still here, the security is high. Then proprietary information. Okay. Now this information, it will include procedures, work routine, and all. Okay, how the procedures are done in the labs, then how many hours they are working. For example, Google. Now Google openly tells what is the proprietary information and all. What are their work procedures? What are the facilities they give in the organization and all. So it depends whether they want to share it with us or not. So here the level of security is high. It depends on the type of organization. It is accessible to authorized person only, this kind of information. Then internal use information. This is basically the TPS data, MIS data that we are giving to the other information systems or communicating to our stakeholders. It is not for external circulation. We will only circulate it within the stakeholders. See, highly confidential data and top secret data, we will not share it with all the stakeholders. But proprietary data and internal use data, we can share it with our stakeholders. Okay, for example, project report. Okay, preparing a project report is not very difficult. You can go to Google for any kind of business. If you want to start any kind of business, there are n number of project reports available. Like if you want to start a bakery, you can just type a bakery project report and you will get the idea what I'm talking about. Then public documents. Now the regulators, they have given instructions that these are the types of companies who are supposed to display annual reports and other documents on their website as a mandatory compliance of sections. So these are the public documents. We will disclose them to the public. Here, no level of security is required, but still you may be asked to create a user ID and password to access these documents so that the organization also gets details who is accessing them. But you can say that the security is either low or there is no security. This is a part of the regulatory compliance by the company. Now I will ask a question. You have to tell me what is the type of data we are talking about here. A company is abandoning one unit. Company is abandoning one unit.
Proprietary.
See, if you have 12 branches and you are abandoning one branch, if that kind of information goes to the public, what kind of effect it will have on the public? They can understand that the company is facing problems and they will start making issues out of it. So once again,
Top secret.
yes, it is a top secret information. It can change the strategic direction of the company. Then the company is going to start a new product line of cars. Earlier they used to make milkshakes. Now they're preparing cars.
Highly confidential.
Yes, is it again highly confidential? It is again a strategic direction. So it is again a top secret. Now the company is preparing milkshakes, but what they are trying to do now is Instead of using milk for preparing milkshakes, now they are trying to use milk powder to make milkshakes.
Highly confidential. This one.
Okay, so that is highly confidential.
Highly confidential.
Okay, that one part, instead of milk, they are using milk powder. That can again start a big issue. But what they are doing is they are just experimenting. They have not implemented or started it. So that is why we are calling it highly confidential. Okay, the rescue operations and search operations. You must have seen in the movies that army and they conduct rescue operations or search operations. So that are basically highly confidential. But if you are planning a surgical strike, then that is a top secret information. Okay, it is not even highly confidential. That is a top secret information. Now, the next question is, the balance sheet of the company.
Public documents.
Public documents. Then list of holidays in a year.
Internal use.
Use.
Internal use. Then the boss is going on a vacation for a honeymoon.
Internal.
Okay, internal use. Then we have a 2 hours training program in the company which involves hacking. We are training the employees to hack the system.
Proprietary.
Yes,
It's a
proprietary.
proprietary.
Yes, correct. It is proprietary. Okay, so you have understood now. We'll continue with the next question. Now, whatever data integrity controls we have, now we have data security controls. Here we are talking about now security. What is data security? It is similar to data integrity, but it is not data integrity. Now, what is data security is? Accidentally, a person may disclose the information. So, in data integrity, what we were talking about is that the data must not be altered by an unauthorized person, or the data, if it is incorrect, it must be detected and prevented automatically or at an earlier stage. In data security, we are making sure that not even accidentally, but even intentionally, the data must not be disclosed to person. So here we are restricting on disclosure part. Data integrity, we were focusing on correcting part. Okay. So data security, we are emphasizing more on disclosure of information. Now, let's see how we will review these data security controls. In this chapter, we will not talk about what are the data security controls. We will just review them. We will review accuracy of data, then updation of data, and we will read and use the data. So basically, we will see who is responsible for the accuracy of data, for updating the data, and to read and use the data. Okay, we will see if the person is authorized or not, whether he has the level of clearance or not. If the data is not accurate, we will report it to this particular person. If it is not updated, we will report it to another person. And then if we want to read and use the data, again, we will report it to the earlier person. So what are the 3 controls we have to review? Who is responsible for accuracy of data? Who is responsible for updation of data? And who will read and use the data? These are 3 different people. These are not just one person. Why? If one person can do all of this, you can understand that there is a potential for fraud. After this, who determines who is responsible? Okay. Now we will also determine who is the person who will give the clearance and he will update the status of the personnel. Then controls security. Who is responsible for controls security? We have installed controls. Now we are making sure that the controls are also secure. So control security. And the last one is outsourced vendor controls. If there is a particular business function, if we have outsourced it, then we will see whether the vendor has the security controls or not. So who is responsible for verifying the vendor controls when a business function is outsourced? So these are the 6 things we will review. Once again, who is responsible for accuracy of data? Who is responsible for updation of data? Who can read and use the data? After that, for these 3 things, who is responsible to determine who is responsible to verify accuracy, update, and read and use data. Then who is responsible for security of controls, and who is responsible for verifying the vendor controls in case the business function is outsourced. Okay, so here you have to again and again say who is responsible, who is permitted, who is given the clearance and all. Just remember accuracy of data, updation of data, read and use data. Then who determines who is responsible, control security, and outsourced vendor control. Those were the data security controls. Now we will see what are the policies. Okay, these will be similar to the points we looked at earlier, like we must install antivirus, we must take a backup. Then after that, let's see if they have any additional points here. So we will do virus signature updating. Whenever you update your antivirus software or you install updates, what it is doing technically is it is updating the virus signatures. Okay, for a particular company, it is exposed to at least 1000 viruses per day. Okay, that is the amount of viruses which are introduced into the cyber world every day. So what your antivirus software does is it will verify these viruses, the signatures they have. What is their signatures? That is basically the code they have. If this code is detected by the computer, automatically the antivirus software will block those viruses. So it is done by antivirus. What they are doing is they are updating the virus signatures which are being introduced in the market daily to ensure that our information systems are safe. Then we will do software testing. Now, what is software testing? Before we are installing any software in the organization, we will try to test it before installation so that the data integrity of the entire organization must be maintained. If it is not able to meet with the data integrity controls, and if the installation is not a success. Yes.
So could you please repeat this virus signature updating, sir?
Okay, once again, virus signature updating. Now we have different vendors like Quick Heal, Norton, and all. What these antivirus companies do is they will make a record that this virus was introduced to the market yesterday. What is its virus signature? How to identify this virus? And what are the controls to use for this virus? Okay, all this data. If you have the antivirus, all this data will be updated automatically by the antivirus. Okay, once you turn your data connection on. So what is happening actually in your computer is it is updating the virus signatures. Okay, these are the new viruses. You need these updates. Accordingly, these updates will install in your computer. If you don't update your computer antivirus, what will happen is the system will not be able to detect these viruses. Why? Because we don't have the virus signatures. Once again, you have restricted an employee from entering the organization. Okay, every time he is supposed to sign the register, Now, what will happen is even after he has been thrown out of the company, again, you can see its signature on the attendance record. So you can understand that he has again entered the organization. So it is habitual for the employees to sign the registers. Like that only, it is habitual for viruses to leave their signatures whenever they enter the system. So if we have the virus signature, we can understand that this virus has entered the system, and accordingly we will take measures to eradicate those viruses. That is basically what happens in virus signature updating. We update it regularly so that our information systems are safe. Yes, did you understand the employee example?
Yes, sir.
Like a employee signs his register every day, even viruses have the signatures when they enter the information system. Then let's see software testing. We need to make sure that the software is compatible with the organization's policies. So we will test it in an environment. We will make sure that it is maintaining data integrity or not, whether all the controls are effective or not. And as per that, we will install the software later. But first, what we will do is we will do software testing, whether it is able to maintain data integrity or not. Then we will do division of environment. Now, what is division of environment? Whenever a software is being developed, we will divide the processes, okay, like designing, then processing, then development and all. Like we have phases of BCP. Like that only we will divide the environment. What will happen is if we divide the environment, the work will be completed at early. If we segregate the duties, if we segregate the work, if we divide the work, it will be completed early. That is why they're saying division of environment. We will have accounting function different, production function different, then marketing function different. So what we will do is we will divide the environment. So as per that function, we will install the controls. Okay. You don't need logical access control, then physical access control as much for IT department as much for accounting department as much we require for a IT department. After this, we will take offsite backup. Okay, after every 1 month, we will take offsite backup. We need to make sure that a backup is taken after 1 month regularly. Then we will also take quarterly backup. That is basically after 3 months, and year-end backup, that is basically after 12 months. So we will take backup of 3 types: offsite backup, quarterly backup, year-end backup. And then we will also have plans for disaster recovery to maintain the data integrity of the organization. So why we need this disaster recovery? So that even if there is a disaster, still we are able to either resume the operations or recover the options. And in the process, we should also ensure data integrity is maintained. So you can remember this question as antivirus, 3 times backup, offsite backup, yearly backup, year-end backup, then division of environment, then disaster recovery, and software testing. Once again, 3 types of backup: offsite backup, quarterly backup, year-end backup, then antivirus, software testing, disaster recovery, and division of information, division of environment. Instead of saying antivirus, what we will say is virus signature updating. What antivirus does is it updates the virus signatures on a daily basis. That is what antivirus does. So instead of saying install antivirus, they have said updation of signature of viruses. Okay, so this was all the content related to data integrity in this chapter. Yes, sir. Have you understood everything till now? you have any query?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will ask some questions now. You have to answer what is the answer for it. Tell me which kind of control you need. I have entered data into the system that 2 plus 2 is 4, but now the system is showing it is 7.
It's input validation control or data
Yeah.
entry control.
See, I have already entered the information into the system. That is 2 plus 2 is 4. But now, after I have entered, it is showing as 7. When I retrieve that information, it is showing as 7. Okay, it is a processing. Okay. 2 plus 2, it is a process. Okay, it is a wrong processing. After that, I received a half message.
Data communication, sir.
Data communication controls. And after that, the Google account is giving my number as my name.
Online data entry controls.
Yes, online data entry controls. Then I have not filled the entire form manually.
Input validation. No.
Talking manually. Huh?
So online, no, input validation routines only.
Okay. This sales vouchers and purchase vouchers. If they are incomplete, then
Source data controls.
source data.
Control.
So whenever I say incomplete now, you have to understand it is source data control. Because in input validation controls, we have to assume that it is complete. You have to assume it that it is complete. In case of source data controls, only in that aspect you have to see that it is incomplete. If it is incomplete, we need to have forms and all. That is why in input data controls we don't have a form, but in source data controls we have a form. Then the printer of the maintenance row is printing audit reports.
Output control.
Output control.
Output control.
Then now tell me the critical procedure, whether it is a critical procedure or not. Okay. Okay, no, they are only some small points, so you can remember them. Yes, now I will tell you control. You have to tell me for which heading the control should be installed. Okay. Firewall.
Data transmission.
communication.
Data communication. Okay. Then parity bit check.
Output controls.
Output control. Then audit trail.
Data
Like data
processing
entry.
control.
Input form. Sorry. Audit trail.
Source data. Data processing.
Data processing and storage control. Yes, that is correct. Now input form.
Source data controls.
Source data.
Source data control. Okay, now one tricky question. Regular audit.
Source data.
Data
as well as-
communication.
Yeah, data communication.
It is audit is has come 3 times. It has come in source data controls, then data processing and storage controls, and data communication controls. The difference is in source data controls, we will say it is periodic audit. In data processing, we will say frequent audits, and in data communication, we will say it is regular audits. Okay. Don't write audit everywhere. Okay, you have to specifically write these headings. Even if one heading is wrong, they will award directly 0 out of 4 marks. So please don't forget the headings, write them as it is in the exam. Because we don't have to explain these headings, so we have to write them word to word correctly. So these were the data integrity policies. We have seen data integrity controls. Yes, tell me the names of the data integrity controls, the 6 headings.
Virus signature update, testing, software testing,
Source data controls,
He's
input
taking
validation
control.
controls,
Output data entry controlled, data communication control.
Data processing and storing.
Okay,
Online
so
data entry controls.
see, someone got confused now between data integrity controls and data integrity policies. Okay, so that can happen. Don't worry about it. Now, what are the 6 things we will see in data security?
Who's responsible for update, read and use? Then who? There's another one also is there.
Accuracy.
Accuracy of the data. And who is responsible to determine who can read and update?
then IS controls for outsourcing.
Yes, outsourcing, vendor controls, and one more is remaining,
Then controls of
security. Okay, data security controls whether they are working or not. So who is permitted to read and use the data, who is responsible for accuracy of data, can write these answers. Okay, is there any question remaining now? Okay, once again, classification of data. Internal audit report.
internal use only.
Internal audit report.
Internal use only.
Yes, why it is not a public document?
Because it's for the management and not for the public as such.
Okay, so for internal audit, you have to see the engagement letter. That will give you the further clarity. Now, internal control policies.
Proprietary.
Yes, you can say it is proprietary. Okay, so these were some difficult questions I asked. Internal control policies, internal audit report. These come as MCQs. You can understand the level of confusion you can have. Okay, one more question. Minutes of the meetings.
Proprietary. No, highly confidential.
Yes, those are the minutes of the meetings. Okay, the Companies Act is telling that you must maintain it. If you pay a certain amount of money, you can access it. Even if you are not the member of the company, you can access them. Okay, but you have to pay a certain amount of money. Okay, in Companies Act, there is a section that if you pay the money to the company, they can give you access to the minutes of the meetings. So tell me, what will be minutes of meetings?
Access
Public documents.
See, they are not giving it free of cost. They are not displaying it on website. You have to pay something to the company.
proprietary only, sir.
It is internal
Access
use
to
only. It is internal use.
internal use, sir.
Okay, so now cost sheet. Cost sheet.
Internal use.
Highly
Internal.
confidential.
Yes, highly
Highly
confidential.
confidential.
Because you can understand. Then the list of suppliers, creditors,
Proprietary.
proprietary, clients, list of clients.
Proprietary again.
Yes, so why is it not internal use? if you prepare a list and circulate it within the organization, and if an employee, now you know the nature of employee, what can happen? They will just share the list. So this list will also be controlled by the organization who can access it. So we will call it a proprietary information. So now you must have got the idea, more in-depth idea about data classification. Now we will wait for 1 or 2 minutes and again we start the session.